fapping face. It's literally what
Hello and welcome to the Zooming Who's podcast, and I'm your host, Dustin the Husky.
And I am the fapping poos.
Let's talk about that.
No.
Yes, you brought it up, so you know what?
Oh, God.
Okay, so what did you do recently? What did you end up doing recently?
I set up to do some Let's Plays.
Because you've been wanting to do something like that for the longest time.
Because
right?
I am gaming poos, and I wanted to...
You want to be content making poos.
Yes.
All right, so what did you get recently? Actually, here, let's just momentarily show your little tiny setup.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. So show the world what you got.
I've got a mic stand.
Okay.
See.
With a spit guard, right?
It's a spit guard, yes. Spit guard.
I'm going to spit on it when he's not looking.
Cam.
Oh, look at that, Cam. And it's got a werewolf. He has a werewolf in the game.
And werewolf. Because that's important. Werewolves are important.
Werewolves are sexy.
So yeah, I am drunk-ish. I'm going to be gaming and Let's Playing. It's going to be all probably drunk Let's Plays. And
so
I forgot to turn off the...
What were you doing before?
Well, I was setting up to do the Let's Play.
And then what happened after that?
Then I paused for a commercial break.
Well, you did a Let's Play, right?
Yeah, well,
so you did a Let's Play test, okay?
And then I decided to fap. Thank God there's nobody in here right now.
Forgetting that you had it on.
Are you recording this too?
What does that say right there?
God. So yeah, I decided to fap. And forgot that my camera was still on.
Nice. All right.
So I got to see my fapping face. So embarrassing.
Oh my God. Oh. So we were talking about this while in the car.
Yeah.
We had a pretty good laugh about that.
Mm-hmm.
So what is one thing that you noticed while watching the video? What was one thing that you noticed that you didn't realize that you were doing before while doing the act?
Eyebrows.
And what were your eyebrows doing?
They were going up.
In a, fashionable motion or in an excited state or
very sporadic and just
okay. All right. Were these eyebrows dancing?
No, there was nothing danceful about it.
Okay. So they were just popping up and down.
Yep.
How did you describe your eyebrows in the car?
Creepy.
Well, beyond that, I mean, you said...
What did I say?
You said that your eyebrows were going nuts for your nuts. And then how you were describing the rest, which you don't have to go into full detail, but you were looking at yourself like how Schmeagol is looked at in the Lord of the Rings movies.
My precious.
My precious.
My precious.
And then I hate that voice that you
I
make.
know you do.
However, I had to get you to do this one thing. I told you to say what in Schmeagol's voice?
My nuts.
No. That's about your eyebrows.
What?
You don't remember?
No.
My eyebrows are nuts for my nuts.
Not doing that.
He said it in a straight voice with
Mm.
Schmeagol. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my God. Oh.
So
We got
let's just
two
put,
listeners, and we don't know if they're really our viewers or not. But you
Let's just
know,
put it
if
this
you're
way.
not,
I
hey, it's a shit cast.
I've got newfound embarrassment for my fapping face.
You really don't realize
No,
what you're doing
you do
while
not.
doing things, and that's
No.
just with anything.
Until it is literally there in front of you being shown. Oh my God.
Yeah, there's a reason. Okay, so we also made a mention about professional porn stars. They don't make a single expression out there. It's
No.
like watching the Blue Man Group do an
Like-
orgy,
Like
and
this
they're
face that I'm doing
totally-
right now.
they're totally nonchalant, totally stone cold,
Mhm.
straight faced. They can be humping each other on the stage, and they won't break character.
Like
However-
this. Just like this.
No, there'd be. Oh my God! You know what? I'm not humping in front of camera, but just literally looking out into the audience, just like while doing the act of love.
Yeah.
And everyone's laughing, and then realizing these guys are not making a single facial expression.
Mm-mm.
There are porn stars that do that, but you know what is lost in the translation?
The emotion.
The emotion of fapping.
It's because there is no emotion when it comes to porn. It's purely business.
Which
Speaking of which, too, I came across this guy on Twitter that I follow. Turns out this is the guy that gets fisted.
Senielski.
No, he's a professional porn star. And I found a video. I'm not showing you guys, but I'm going to show you.
Yeah, that's how we get
Yeah.
not copyright infringement, but we would
Make sure
get
my sound is
blacklisted
off.
on.
You have got to see this. This is going to be a great reaction. You got to get up close so we can really see your reaction.
Okay.
You've got to see.
I hate these kinds of videos, but I guess I gotta
Oh, just wait. I think I may have even saved it.
hold on. This needs another beer.
Nope. Yeah, it definitely needs another beer, or at least needs to sit.
All right. Well, let's.
Oh, I gotta find it. Hold on.
Okay, so it's been yeah. So you discover new things about yourself when you do stuff that you don't realize you're doing.
Oh, it's this guy, Devin Franco.
Mm.
Oh God, this is the video. Look at the thumbnail. Just look at the thumbnail.
Yeah, his whole fist. Wait. Okay, so I'm gonna describe it. We're not gonna show you, but me being descriptive as I am going to describe the thumbnail that I see. So far we have a guy who is the fister. His face is totally blank, meaning he is totally in a trance.
He's all business.
All business with his fist. All right. And of course, his fist is inside the rectum of the other person. Let's see. This person's got a cage. His legs are. Oh my
I
God,
think he's up in.
dude! No, that's beyond fist. That's like forearm.
He's almost up to his elbow. Hit play.
But okay, and then this guy is like either in pain or in euphoria. But you know what? His legs are in actually really fantastic form. Are you sure there's no video? Okay. Dude, is his stomach actually moving up and down? No, that's him breathing.
Yeah, it's him breathing.
What the fuck was that? What in son of a bitches? No. You best no. No, he's petting it. He's petting it. He destroyed that guy's mesentery. The intestinal lining that actually allows your intestines to bind together in the more proper way.
Oh, hi, King.
Hey there, King.
Came in at just the right time.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you've been following up until this point, but Trinidad showed me
Oh, let's put it on my plate.
a video on top of the pizza. But I failed biology in high school. I like the numbers. I like physics. I thought statistics was fun. I thought engineering was a cakewalk. Biology grossed me out. But you know what? I had to do things that I didn't like doing, and yet the guy who said that, oh yeah, I can't wait to snap the clavicle of a dead rat encased in formaldehyde. No, total wimp when it actually came to that. I had to do all the things he said that he wanted to do, and he was more queasy than I was, and I just did it because I needed it for the good grade.
I cringed at this video
And
when I first saw it.
Taking out the intestines of a rat, just something about me disassembling a being just absolutely upset me. It's something I absolutely did not like doing, but I had to do it for credit because I was failing, and these dissections was the only thing that allowed me to pass. Overall, I failed that class, but the dissections is what saved it. Then I had the intestines, and of course, looking at it and whatnot, and there's this thin membrane that, kind of binds the intestines together. This is called mesentery. If that's what I remember.
I can't believe you actually remember this.
It's traumatic if I remember something I did not like, and you know what? It just stuck. Especially my biology teacher was poking the testicles of this rat, and I was like, oh, please don't do that. And like, oh, do this. And like, oh, yeah, no. Chipotle chili pepper.
Did you imagine that on his thing sticking out?
You're evil. You are an evil cat. No, that's as red as what it looked like inside. Oh no! And then this guy was just like literally. Oh no! Oh no! No! Oh, that's nightmares. So there I am, looking at. Oh, there's another one. Oh no!
Shit.
No, it stays there. It stays there.
I'll fix it.
No. Oh, fine. There we go. So, what that video showed is that when you get, fisted, you take a toy up your ass. However, taking the toy up your ass is something a little bit more different, slightly different than fisting. Yeah, it's something that goes up your ass. But a toy, it expands you out a bit, but it's also meant to be taken slowly. You're supposed to have patience with that. With patience, there's nothing to really go wrong.
Patience equals pleasure.
Yes, exactly.
However,
fisting, especially when you're putting the hand deeper
into the other
man's hand, into the anus all the way. It is so painful they have to take drugs, but they enjoy it. So because I've never been fisted, don't ever want to be fisted, because you know what? That's just not my thing. No. You like getting fisted?
It's on you.
Get fisted.
But no.
But what happens is that there's a thing called oh my God, what is it called? Prolapse.
Yes.
There's a thing called a prolapsed colon.
Yep.
That's exactly what happened in that video, is when a nice red blob, it's not even pink, it's literally red.
Flesh.
No, it's definitely intestines, but I didn't realize it to be that red on. But
in a more basic generic sense, it's flesh.
It is all flesh, really. Well, we got 3 people, and we're talking about biology and fisting. Welcome.
Enjoy.
So, what this person just did is destroyed any. Oh, and we lost the person anyway.
Yep.
There we go.
Fisting.
Yep. The fisting. You're doing a live cast. You're going to scare people by the word fisting.
Maybe we should change subjects.
I still want to finish this. The moment you get fisted that bad to where your bowels prolapse, you've damaged the mesentery that, see, they want to hear it too. You're damaging the mesentery, which is the thin film lining that allows your intestines to keep its relative shape and direction inside the body. It's a natural thing. It just helps align things. But the moment that you damage mesentery, it's the one part of the human body that does not heal. Once you tear it, it just gets weaker. No. You can fix mesentery through surgery, and it can heal that way, but it doesn't heal on its own. Once it rips, it rips. That guy is going to have problems, which, oh my goodness. And I don't like horror movies, but seeing something real like that
is a horror movie.
Is a horror movie for me, just because I can't handle that kind of stuff.
That guy, Devin, what did I say his name was? Devin Franco?
It's a mystery.
No, it isn't. It's right here in front of me.
Oh, it's the...
Yep, Devin Franco. This guy does videos like this. Like, he does porn like this all the time.
Wait, is he the one getting fisted, or?
Yeah.
The one getting fisted. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised in about 10 years' time. He's going to have so many colon issues. Now, you enjoy toying.
I'm surprised he doesn't have them now.
Actually, he does have an issue. He needs...
He probably poops out of his mouth.
Like Eric Cartman.
Yeah.
You know what? I think we talked about this way too much, but I will say this: he's got issues. You just take an ordinary toy normally. You know what? Something within reasonable size. I don't know. I would say anything. Yeah, a fist. Well, that's definitely loosen you up, but it may actually do some damage if you go deeper into the other man's hand, into the anus all the way up to probably your elbow, in which, I don't know, just...
That's a bit...
That going too far.
The thing about that guy, every video I've seen him in, his eyes are bloodshot. Like, he is literally on something.
And they need to take drugs, but they enjoy it. It's just so painful they have to take drugs, but they enjoy it. You know what?
Yeah, he literally is on something every time.
Maybe to not feel the actual pain.
No, he just does it to enhance it.
Oh, dear Lord.
Because he's so gaping all the time that it's just no feeling.
You don't feel it because your internal organs do not have nerve endings.
No.
At least not in the way that we think it is. Again, biology, I don't want to discuss this for far too long, but you don't feel it.
Yep.
Only the nerve endings about 2 inches into your ass will have nerve endings. Beyond that, there aren't any. The more you know. See, this is a really weird 18 minutes into this podcast as we talk about, I don't even know what the hell we were. Oh, we talked about masturbation on camera, and we talked about fisting.
Yeah.
We're on a good roll right now.
We're starting off at an all-time low. Can only go up from here, right?
I hope.
So for me, the one thing I had was Monster drinks. Like, I'm big on mixing.
Did you used to drink Monster before you drank
No,
Monster?
I've never had Monster before. I don't even know where I came up with the idea. I think I just wanted a fruit punch.
I think you were curious and just...
No, it wasn't even that. I was literally just looking for some kind of juice, actually, to mix with beer. Mm-hmm. And the first thing that I saw was a Monster juice drink. So I got it. Turned out amazing. So I've kind of been doing it ever since. Not on a nightly basis. Try it with
different flavors.
Yeah.
Until what happened today? What did you get today?
Well, we patroned a local liquor store that we like to go to. We have a moderately good collection of liquor. Everything else is kind of eh.
I mean, he's got some local stuff. It's not like Discount Liquor,
But
where
it's-
they have local microbreweries that you've never heard of before in the state.
Right.
But he's got a few, which is still cool.
But a selection of mixers and energy drinks, pretty minimal. He had 2 flavors of Monster. Pipeline Punch and the original Monster, which I've never had.
So how did it go?
Terrible.
How did it taste like?
It tastes like pre-chewed gum.
Do you have experience with pre-chewed gum?
No. It's just how I imagine it to taste when someone's chewing a piece of gum. They pop it out.
That is a
And they give it to the other person to chew. Now you're chewing pre-chewed gum. How is it?
tastes like pre-chewed gum.
Yep. So that's what I feel like Monster, even when it's not mixed with beer, that's how I feel like it tastes. Just, it's not good. It's just not good. So I switched from that to Milo's sweet tea. Shout out to Ray and your sweet tea.
He I don't even think he knows that I do a podcast.
Probably not, but Milo's.
Oh no, that's considered sojim.
Can you see it? Can you see it? Can you see it?
It's called sojim in this world, because I don't think, because the camera is flipped. So really, it says Milo's, but it actually kind of reads sojim. But that's okay.
Well, it's good sojim. What are you drinking right now?
I am drinking a Michelob Ultra because you know what? I'm in the mood for beer and a cold beer.
Ah,
After a long week like mine, yeah. Because I only work 4 days a week. Bus driver, you're already working 12 hours a day. So really, working 5 days a week is hell on earth. Worked Memorial Day, and boy, was that long.
yeah.
I'm just glad that I have a full weekend. Because I'm off Sundays and Mondays. I was only off the Sunday, which was already working on a roof anyways, so didn't really have any time to myself, which kind of sucked, but oh well. So you told me something that was kind of interesting. You
How
drew a
dare I.
schematic of a little camper.
Yep.
And you told me this the other day, which I thought was actually kind of interesting. A different concept.
Yeah.
Something that probably would suit you best. Although you're not exactly sure if it would suit you, but something that you're actually curious into doing. What's that idea?
Well, because of like looking at other people's content on YouTube, actually, I just expressed interest. It's not something I'm seriously going to do, but I'm considering the idea of being a roadie, or the word you would say no, roadie, not roadie. Like life on the road, we'll say that. Not owning a house, living,
Which might actually affect how you do that too.
yeah, living basically on the road.
Hey there, Johnson. Thank you for the extra love. I appreciate it.
So yeah, I just thought I'd like to try, and I think we came up with the idea that something, if I want to try and do it for like 3 or 4 months,
I would say
that'll give me a clearer idea of how life would be.
there is to all new things in life. There's always a thing called the honeymoon period of
Yeah.
sorts. Happens with jobs, happens with purchases, anything in life. The first month or two, you're gonna like whatever you end up doing if you end up going through it,
Right.
because you're going in with a positive mind, positive attitude, and you want to make it work. The real struggle is after that short amount of time that you start really having it sink in, is when you realize you're actually doing this. This is actually something that I am fully committed to do because this is now what I'm required to do now.
Right.
And I suggested if you were to do something like this, that I would say a minimum of 3 months, a maximum of 4, just to see how you would like doing such a thing full time. And I'm not saying you do it for 3-4 months on the side. No, I am saying full on living in a camper towed by a car.
Yep.
Literally no home. Which, let's get rid of the other, let's not talk about the issues yet about that idea, but let's talk about the good parts of that concept, because people do it. However, a lot of those people tend to be retirees. So they already have a pension, so they don't have to worry, or pension, Social Security, whatnot, and stuff paid off from many, many years of maybe acquiring stuff, maybe an RV, maybe pop-up camper. They may already have a tow vehicle they may have owned for a long time that's already long paid off. So some of these people who have done this are already ahead of the game in terms of they already acquired the stuff. It's already been paid off. Cost is not an issue anymore.
Right.
But they also may have, let's say, an apartment or a house they've owned for 30, 40 years. It may also be paid up, or somewhat so.
Right.
And it's literally a home away from home sort of aspect where they travel they travel different parts of the country every year for maybe 9 to 10 months in a year. Because I don't think it's going to be a full year, because there's one thing that I've noticed that you need to be home for, this one specific thing, to make yourself road legal. But the concept of it is sound because people already do this. Question is, can you, at your age, would you be able to sustain yourself unless you were able to find work along the way to sustain, fuel, food? You may need to go to a campsite. You may need to rent space at a campsite for a few weeks in one spot just to make it worthwhile.
Right.
These are sort of things that retired people don't have to worry about, because you know what? They already have lived long enough to know how to use their retirement money, that they can plan around that. We're still working age. I'm nowhere near retiring. So you literally have to work around the thing of constantly working. That's how you're going to have to fund things in life, is through work, because in order to retire, you have to put in the work to do that. So the concept of it is sound because it can be done. Now the question is, you have a vehicle. Then you have whatever camper trailer combination unit that you pull behind you. However, like in the state of Wisconsin, if a trailer is more than 8 feet long, it's required to be registered by the DMV with a trailer plate. Has nothing to do with weight, has nothing to do with axles, maybe with axles, but I know for a fact, past 8 feet, you have to register a trailer. The sourpuss is 6 foot. So if you were to custom make an 8 foot long camper to not be registered, he would have very little space to loaf in.
True.
There is no width requirement, but there is a length requirement. So you could make an 8x8 trailer, a square, but you have to use every single square inch. You may as well make it a cube to make up the most of it.
Right.
However, your tow vehicle needs to be registered to a state.
Right.
You also have a driver's license, which may need a residence to be put on it, to be considered not just a driver's license, but also a photo ID, identification card. You need to have an address to know where the hell you live, so that people know where the hell you live.
Right.
If you're going to be living on the road permanently, how can you do that? I thought, P.O. Box. Have your mail sent to one location where you come every blue moon and get your mail, which I don't know if the USPS is going to get pissed off if you don't pick up your mail enough. I don't think they give a fuck after a while, but I'm sure after a year they're going to say, hey,
this is packed full. Come get your shit.
Yeah. They're also going to say is, do you really need a P.O. Box because you're not even using it? Where P.O. Boxes, I think, are a first come, first serve thing as well. My big question about all of this is not how it can work, because you can have an unlimited phone plan to get your Wi-Fi connectivity. That's one thing. So you can get all your basic essentials. You get money for your food and fuel.
Right.
Okay. How do you make sure that you're not driving without a license or registration or even insurance? Because a lot of states, insurance is compulsory. In the state of Wisconsin, it's compulsory, but they don't make it mandatory, which is weird.
That is weird.
They don't check up this. They don't check, oh, hey, Mr. Hoosk, do you have insurance on your car? They will not ask you that. They say, well, hey, as long as you provide insurance and you know that you got insurance, that's all that we really need to know. For the most part, they don't give a fuck until something happens. Then they ask for insurance then. That's the big question.
No.
How would you be able, you can say, hey, your license is good for 8 years, which goes back to this address. However, eventually, in a year, your license plate will expire and you'll need a new tag. So yes, you can definitely get your registration tag for the next 8 years here. However, what happens if your license expires and you don't have an actual permanent residence? How does that work? That's my big question about how would that work. And anything else about this is totally possible because people do it. In fact, you know what some people do? They literally use a panel van. They literally buy a brand new bone stock commercial grade panel van and they literally live out of it. But whereas you would have both a tow vehicle and a trailer, which means your tow vehicle can also have storage too. Your camper will also have its whatever amount that you want on it. If you're living in a camper van down by the river, you don't have much belongings to begin with. At that point, you have become full-on monk. You have gotten rid of about 90% of all your possessions because you won't be able to fit much in a commercial trade vehicle. Yeah. It's possible, but all that space is literally going to be limited to what you can use for it. The beauty about a commercial vehicle, you don't have a trailer. It's just literally vehicle. You can park in the city, park anywhere. You can sleep directly in your vehicle without even opening a door. You just literally go in the back and there we go. But you no longer have any actual good storage for more than what you need. You're literally living minimally, which some people can do quite well. Me, I'm a permanent Hoosk. I would rather have a home, stay where I am, and just literally swirl.
When I think of panel vans, I think of the guys that sell speakers out of them. Or stolen electronics.
I mean, that would probably be the same type of van.
They're just like, hey, man, I got some speakers for sale.
I mean, that's one avenue besides buying an RV, or you could buy a 25-footer RV. That would be your vehicle.
That's like $80,000.
But that would be your home. And you'd have more space. And actually be better than a commercial panel van because you'd have more available space to put more things. Cheaper than an RV, which costs about the cost of an average house.
Yeah.
brand new. You can buy a used RV for 20, 30, 40 grand. That's a fixer-upper.
You can't hear us.
Huh?
Can't hear y'all, but pooping and popping in for a sec. I just read pooping.
Alpha says that I want to hear it, so they can hear us. I just think we may not be that close. So I would say just do this.
Testing.
I don't know.
1, 2. If we stop talking, obviously they're not going to hear
Right.
us.
So anyway, with a panel van, you're going to be spending about 20, 25 grand on a bare basic, literally bone stock panel van that you can do what you want with it. You can even buy a used 25-footer RV for probably the same cost. Boop, boop. I would like to think people are listening on. But anyway.
Hopefully. Can you hear us, King? Confirm or deny.
At least tell us what subject we're talking in the description. And
or just confirm that you can hear us.
Anything so that we know what we're... at least you guys can hear. Because otherwise, this was 36 minutes of us talking and no one else listening. Until then, we're just going to keep talking. So you have multiple options.
I mean, if they're not hearing us, then why talk?
Well, if we keep talking, they may have a chance if we're coming through. I don't know. I think we're better off talking just to see what happens. I think they could probably hear us. It's just we're so far back. Anyway, let's just keep this going.
I mean, we were far back before, though, and they could hear us.
I don't know. I'm not gonna really argue about that. Oh, yep, they can hear us. Okay, so good. Not an issue.
So it's not.
Okay. So seeing the country. That sounds like a really fun idea.
Yeah.
It's just the logistic means of registering a vehicle is the only drawback to it all. Once you can register a vehicle, you're good to go. I think, you know what, frankly, if you really, really want to make this work, I would say a panel van or a small RV. Like, I'm not talking about the RV you're thinking of. I'm talking about the ones that look like a front conversion van, graphed down with a box in the back. I would say as simple as you can get.
Well, that's definitely, without question, I want to get simple. I want to get small. I don't have a lot of stuff, so I'm not going to be...
And you may as well have your home travel with you and make it convenient. So those are some options, because you've slept in your car. Did that suck?
Immensely.
Yes. So you obviously do not want to sleep in a ordinary car.
No.
At least in a van, you can sprawl out and be long cat.
Very long cat.
In a small RV, and it doesn't not even have to be brand new. You can find them on Craigslist for a quarter of what they were asking for brand new. I can hear you on our end.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. I think it's kind of fun. I will, if I can travel for a few months across the country, I would certainly do so. After a while, I'd get bored of it and want to come back home for the rest of the year. Because yes, I am a traveling Hoosk. I get excited for road trips, but once I'm on a road trip far long enough, it's not to say I don't have the attention span. I like to plan a trip of what I can see in a certain amount of time, get my enjoyment out of it, and then think, okay, now I can come back home to really people that I actually do care about. Family and friends are the main one. Because eventually you want to see them again. if you feel like you can just cut yourself off from the rest of the earth and be on the road every day of the year.
So I wouldn't want to cut myself off. I just want to be able to travel.
Right.
The lady that I found on YouTube, she has 2 Hoosks, and she travels the country, and the Hoosks Zoom with her. And they seem very happy to be Zooming.
Well, there we go.
Yep. I think it's for dog people. People with dogs.
So,
but that's just one thing I'm considering. If anything, just thinking about doing, really.
I'd say it's totally practical. It's totally possible. People do it anyway right now.
Yeah.
It's the few logistical things of registration and driver's license you got to figure out.
Yep. Something else I've got down here. I don't remember this or what this is about.
All right. Let's see it.
Her cigarette smoking pussy. Oh, it's the square lady.
Oh, yeah.
This all puss up in here.
Oh, my God, yeah.
There's a video of this lady. She's basically got...
It's like a square lower chest.
Torso and then belt. So
And
it's just square.
Yeah.
And then belt.
So literally her gut.
And this guy says something about her belt. Something, you better fix your belt. Your belly fat. She says...
Yeah.
This all puss.
You see this?
This all puss up in here.
This is all pussy.
She's like pointing up here though. This
Yeah.
right in here is not
like
puss.
like this is considered pussy to her.
I can't see what you're pointing at.
Because I'm sitting, but I feel lazy to get up. So
yeah,
actually, you're more upright.
Right in here, right in this
Yeah.
area.
So this is considered
This
pussy.
is puss right here.
This is considered pussy.
Don't you forget that, motherfucker.
No, that's someone else.
No, that's what she said. She said, "Don't forget
really?
that, motherfucker." This is puss
Like
right
that
here.
crazy Michigander Christian lady or something.
There is a Michigan lady. She's another one.
But that's like the most funniest thing. And you made a mention about her cigarettes.
Well, the cigarettes were in reference to the puss lady.
No, there had been a reason why
No.
a vagina is smoking a cigarette.
I just came up with that. Her cigarette smoking vagina.
My God.
Because of her voice. It sounded like, cigarette smoker.
It seems like it's going to her lungs somehow through her vagina.
Her vagina smokes cigarettes.
Oh my God, that
I
would
know.
be.
Here's something else I've got.
Her
down.
vagina has a stoma. Oh my God, that's bad.
So one of the songs they play at my work is a Beach Boys song. I don't even know what the actual name of the song is.
So why don't you talk about the context?
I just know that one of the lyrics is 2 girls for every boy.
Okay, so
And I
why
kept
don't
hearing
you?
it, and I kept thinking, doesn't sound good.
So why don't you talk about what you think about the song is, and then I'm going to explain what I might think.
Well, I
about
kept
what the song
thinking,
is.
okay, are they not mainstream? What's the other?
Mormon,
Not the other type of Mormon.
LSD.
Yeah, the
But actually, that's
Well,
Latter-day
no,
Saints.
the Latter-day
That's
Saints.
So it's LDS.
LDS. LSD is a drug.
I mean, it is probably the same at this point.
And not judging if you're Mormon or if you know someone that's Mormon or your family's Mormon.
I mean, the mainstream.
What I was more
Mainstream is
focused
pretty
on,
normal.
right? Mainstream Mormons are not polygamous.
Right.
But I kept thinking, were the Beach Boys polygamous? Then is that why they're singing about 2 girls for every boy?
And something about Mormonism.
Well, right. Were they more? I'm just wondering. Were the?
I don't think any single one of them were Mormons.
I don't know what they were. I don't really know much about the Beach Boys. I guess to be.
I
honest.
don't. I've never ever never for the longest time as I've heard about the Beach Boys that none of them made a single mention to any religion.
Yeah. So I just
I
wondered.
think they're just all Christians. It's just because everybody Christian in this country, no one ever bats an eye at it because it doesn't matter.
Right.
But I think about it, there's 2 things. One could be more of a playful thing where, oh yeah, every Every cute boy needs to at least deserve girls crawling all over him. Okay, all right, because you know what's the 1960s. You're going to the beach. You want to find some chicks just to hang out with because you know what? You are a lonely, lonely greaser of a person. And you still want to get laid. But at the end of the day, you didn't get laid. Now, this is what I actually think about the song. I don't even know what it is, but hearing that one verse alone, I think it's about cheating.
One lyric.
It's pretty much every boy with two. Wait, what's it?
2 girls for every boy.
2 girls for every boy. Not thinking too deep about it. To me, I just think so.
It sounds like almost like a.
It almost seems like either they're crawling over them, over boys, like they're fighting over who can get this guy,
Right.
Or it's really a mention that hey, even boys can twist the rules and have 2 girls
Right.
at
One
2
girl
separate
and
times.
one girl on the side or something.
Yeah.
Side hoe.
Which, you know what? In the 1960s, that'd be a bit risque, so I don't think it would have to do with that.
The Beach Boys were kind of a 70s band, really.
No, 60s.
Beach Boys?
Their heyday was 60s.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Actually, Beach Boys and the Love Monkeys were just as famous and well-known as the Beatles. And Brian Wilson and Paul McCartney were good friends. Especially when they were on tour in the United States. I mean, they made music well into the 70s and 80s, but their prime time.
Yeah, surfing USA,
They're very early to mid 60s is when their heyday.
Girl.
And then the 70s and 80s, they were more likely just doing concerts. They were just trying to like, hey, we still have an audience that still like these songs. We'll still do concerts. We might make new music, but for the most part, we're going to play our greatest hits from a bygone time, which, you know, it's like with every decade. There's always going to be something unique about each decade. The 60s.
Yeah, you're right. Their heyday was the 60s.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I thought they were more like a 70s band.
No.
Like the song where is it? In My Room. That doesn't
actually it's okay, so because I used to listen to the Beach Boys a lot when I was younger.
Me too.
So let's see. Surfing Safari is good.
Yep.
409 is very good. Never heard of 10 Little Indians. Never heard of it. Surfing USA is good.
Classic.
Shut Down is a classic. Surfer Girl, Little Deuce Coupe, Be True to Your School, In My Room. Little Saint Nick is what you hear during Christmas time. And you know what? It's the only Christmas song that I'll ever tune into. Beyond that, everything else can go fuck itself. I Get Around. Yeah, get around. Woo, I get around. You know that song?
Yep, I know that song.
Don't worry, baby.
That's
He's talking about his car.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Hoosk talks about his car.
There's a YouTuber that I follow that covers that song.
Yeah.
She's, I think she's of Oriental descent. Is that the right way to say it?
That's not a good way to say it.
What's the best way to say
Asian?
She is Asian American. I want to be, right.
I've never heard of When I Grow Up. Maybe I have, but I don't remember.
What do you call it? She's a looping artist. Phenomenal version of that song. Don't worry, baby. We'll have to play it. It's great.
She Knows Me Too Well. I don't know what that song is. Dance, Dance, Dance. I don't know. It doesn't sound familiar to me. The Warmth of the Sun. I don't know. Help Me, Rhonda.
Yep.
Kiss Me, Baby. California Girls.
Yep. Which has been redone.
Barbara Ann.
Yeah, that's a good song too. I forgot
Sloop
about that.
John B. Wouldn't it be nice? Yeah.
Yep.
God Only Knows. Good. See it. Please don't make me sing. There's good vibrations, which could be a cat.
It was a cat.
It probably is a song about a cat vibrating to the point where the vibrations can be felt through seismic
Actually,
activity.
that's probably a masturbation song. Let's be honest.
Oh my god. Let's see. I think really a lot of the songs that Bluebirds Over the Mountain. I think for the most part, a lot of the songs that I actually enjoy from the Beach Boys, which I don't listen to them very often as much, but I still like their music, is usually early to mid 60s. At that point, that's kind of like where I think their song writing was quite good. And this is considered to be their best hits, or at least their singles. So let's see. Studio albums. Surfin' Safari, which was 1962. So that was their first album. Surfin' USA. Surfer Girl. So they have 3 albums in a row with the words surf or surfing.
Yep, because they're the Beach Boys.
Little Deuce Coupe is a song about someone shitting in a car.
What?
No, it's actually not.
If it was, it would be about me, probably.
Dude, that thing is way too big to be a dog turd.
I'll be your little Deuce Coupe.
You don't know what I got. See, yeah, you don't ever want to listen to me sing. No. Don't make me sing. I'll do a mean Geddy Lee, but anything else is just pitiful. Let's see. So, Surf's Up. They made a 4th album with the word surf in it.
Were those all in the 60s?
No, this is now going into the 70s.
Okay.
The Beach Boys. Still Cruise and Summer in Paradise. So technically, well, really, the very last album they created, their very last studio album, amazingly enough, was actually 2012. However, before then, the very last album before 2012 was 1996. So
they
really,
still managed to stay relevant for over 3 decades.
And they're still somewhat together. It's just they mostly play their greatest hits from the 60s, which really is what they were known for.
Right.
They say sing, sing, sing. It's like, oh.
Nope.
I want to sing. Or just start breathing. I forgot my lines already. Fuck. What were they?
What was his name? Oh,
who?
Randy Musselman or Randy Savage, the wrestler.
Oh yeah,
the asthma wrestler.
Yeah, it's just. Oh my god, that's really rough on. oh god. I already talk on the radio all day. I don't know why I'm doing this.
I don't know.
So, Wisconsin. Singing in public, yes. Telling stories like a madman, no. I enjoy telling stories on open mic at cons, but when it comes to singing, I just sing in the shower, in my car, and in my bus, which then people then sing along, and it gets fun. Especially when the theme song of Shaft plays on the radio.
Can you dig it?
Can you dig it? Damn right. No.
Damn free.
Let's see. Who is a man who would risk his neck for brother man? Shaft. Right on. And everyone just goes insane. It's like, oh my god, this person's actually singing Shaft. And he does the voice.
Isaac Hayes was amazing.
Oh my god, he had a sexy voice. Oh my god, just like his voice is audio sex.
Yep.
Just sex in audio form.
Yeah.
And you know what? He did right.
Yeah.
But Shaft, though, good song. But yeah, I don't really sing because you know what? I don't have really the good voice for that. I enjoy telling stories, but as far as singing, not something I'd probably do in public unless I'm totally blackout drunk that I never have to remember it until people show me videos later on. Actually, no, I'm better off not going on stage. I would rather watch Pendez sing. Pendez, you're amazing. You're a poet and you didn't even know it. There we go.
Yeah.
Let's see. Even if you were jokingly singing, you wouldn't. Jokingly singing. I mean, if I wanted to make a fool of myself, yeah, I could probably do it. But to be taking myself seriously, I don't think I'd be able to. In a parody, yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh God, parodies. That's all we do at work all day.
Yeah, at that point, I can actually do whatever I want. But to sing seriously, I just can't. I just don't have the singing voice for that.
Tears for Fears. The band Tears for Fears.
Yes.
Tears for Fears.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody Wants to Rule the World.
Yep.
What's the other song they're really well known for?
Shout. See.
There's another song that they do that we always hear, and oh God, Seed of Love. Seed of Love.
Kurt and Sarapus is a better singing voice.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not singing.
No, you have a better voice.
Seed of Love. How does it go? I remember. Seed of Love. Lyrics. Seed of Love. Cedar Bluff. Cedar Bluff. That's not what I said.
So while you're actually thinking about that, there's actually something that I noticed that, okay, so in the state of Wisconsin,
Make sure the door's shut.
Actually, it's already long too late for that. That's okay. So, in the state of Wisconsin, there are more bars than there are any other type of business in the state of Wisconsin. That's classy. You know, hey, we got to keep the toilet humor real. But in the state of Wisconsin, we have more bars than we have anything else as far as post office, schools, grocery stores, gas stations. Literally, we're all alcoholics. And that's okay. Someone's got to do it. So, you can't hear that. So, I thought, what would be fun names for a bar? Because in Milwaukee, there are a lot of really cool names for bars. A lot of them pretty clever. There's Fourth Base. If you're near Miller Park, which is now AmFam Field, which I will refuse to ever call it after that one time that I'm going to say it. It is always Miller Park to me. Or you know what? I can go one step back and call it Milwaukee County Stadium because you know what? I've been to that one too, and they tore that one down, and it was falling apart.
What is it called now?
AmFam Field, which is so stupid.
At least it's not Tampax Theater or Tampax Stadium.
Tampax, release your slacks, Tampax. Is there anything fun to do in Wisconsin? Yes, a lot of things. We have so many festivals around here. It's actually kind of stupid.
And beer gardens.
We have so many beer gardens, festivals,
disc golf,
car shows. So many recreational activities in the state. Just nuts. I mean, Wisconsin's a very small state as far as population. There's no more than 6 million people here. All of Wisconsin can fit within the greater area of Chicago and still not fill it up.
Yep.
But we compete with Illinois with nearly about the same amount of stuff that you can do. In fact, more Illinois people come to Wisconsin to do.
What's that garden that your mom wanted us to go to that we waited in line for like 2 hours?
Oh, I don't know exactly what, but there's the Boehner Botanical Gardens, which is
Botanical
nice.
Gardens. I mean, there's the Dells.
The Dells.
Literally the water slide nation of the
of the country.
of the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got Summerfest, the world's largest musical festival.
Yep.
State Fair, which
Is
is
awesome.
actually like the one time when you see most of all Wisconsin in one spot.
Yep.
There's Pride Fest.
Yep.
And Milwaukee Pride Fest is a huge, huge, huge event. Even people from Chicago come
Yeah.
to it. So much so that this is what happens in Chicago, but also what happens in Milwaukee. So many people travel to both Chicago and Milwaukee Pride Fest that they don't have enough money for the return trip. So they literally go homeless just to go to Pride. Then they panhandle for money to then make it back home, which I don't think is the most responsible thing to do, but apparently from what Alkali had mentioned, well, obviously many years ago, that the greatest influx of new homeless people in Chicago happens to be right after Chicago Pride, which is kind of sad.
Yeah.
But it's like literally, there are so many things that you can do in Wisconsin, like you can do in all other states.
Right.
But we're not totally bored out of our minds living here. There's
Yep.
actually a lot to do, and it's kind of nice.
Yep.
Frankly,
hunting and fishing.
I mean, fishing and hunting is really big here. Like
Yeah.
there's not a single, well, there's very, very few furries from this state who doesn't know anyone that actually
Hunts.
Well,
or fishes.
Right. And they know at least one person that has done both. I've actually fished a few times. I never gone hunting because you know what? I just don't think it's really necessary. I mean, I go target shooting, but really shooting live game, it's just not the thing I kind of want to do. Unless I'm desperate in a post-apocalyptic world. At that point, yeah, sure, for a game for survival. It's
funny you bring that up because I still, I will always forever, like, this is my thing when COVID first hit.
Oh, you were hoping for zombies.
I was hoping for zombies. I was like, please let this be a zombie apocalypse. Or please let it be a side effect of having the virus.
You were excited for that.
I was
asked
like,
me on like how to possibly
finally
use a gun.
Zombies. Yeah, I would learn to shoot a gun.
And you hate guns.
I do. I hate guns. But if it was me versus zombies, I would do it.
And then you'd loaf on other dead corpses.
Yeah. Like I took all these zombies out myself.
Oh, yes. Firmly
loafing on them.
So as I was mentioning while you were over there, that if you've ever noticed that there are a lot of fun bar names.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, near Miller Park, there is a bar called Fourth Base.
Yep.
There's no such thing in baseball. However, it's a play on words.
Yeah.
There's Overtime or Kelly's Bleachers or near a golf course by me. There's one called the 19th Hole. Again, doesn't exist in golf, but because it's a bar, you gotta be witty. You may as well just have fun with it.
Right.
Stumble in Kenosha. There was literally a corner bar somewhere like 120th Street in Kenosha County. I think it might be off Washington. I don't know. I'm just spouting words. And it's literally just a bar called Stumble In. And I think they even have a little caricature of someone stumbling into like something.
I would imagine that they do.
I would hope so. But bar names should always be fun.
Yes.
It should always be, oh, hey. Or it's like kind of like Family Guy. Hey, let's go to the Clam. You got to have something to say. Hey, let's go to blah, blah, blah.
Is it the Clam? It's called the Clam or the Drinking Clam?
The Drinking Clam or something like that, yeah. And they just call it the Clam. What is some interesting bar names? Like if we were to open up a bar. Oh, there was actually one when me and TJ went, shit you not, when we were in Brown Deer for disc golfing, there's a bar up there called the Thirsty Fox.
Hmm.
The Thirsty Fox. You know what that fox is thirsty for.
Yep. The D.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a furry bar.
Oh, that's where this whole inspired subject came from is, if we were to make a furry bar, if we were to make a bar, what would it be called?
I would make the litter box.
Litter box.
Yeah.
So your bar will be the litter box.
Yep.
And what would be inside? This is your bar, so you do what you want to do. What's inside your bar?
Sand.
And mounds. Just mounds. Hey, you may not want to step there.
Yeah, there could be shit or
That
piss
could
in
be
there.
shit.
That could be shit or piss. We don't know. It's not identifiable.
And then actual cats actually come in and actually like make a deuce while someone's chugging down a Hacker Shore.
Yeah, Hacker Shore.
Or a Bex. If you can stand to stomach Bex. I don't know, Bex gives me a headache. Their formula's weird. Let's see. I think, honestly, I just call my bar the kennel. Or the Hoosk kennel.
I like the kennel.
I would definitely want to have a stage for like either karaoke or small local bands to like just play. Like a good enough stage to where it's elevated up, where everyone in the bar can see, to either give you praise in your prowess of music, or we can ridicule you.
Or your bad singing, yeah.
Yeah. And because you know what? A lot of bars, what they do have is a good stage set or a stage to play music on. What they don't have often enough is the height.
Yeah.
Because, okay. So, you know what's the most annoying thing about some bars when they have live musical performances? Everyone's either standing or sitting on stools.
Yeah.
And you can't see shit.
No.
So, you know what you do? You move your head around other people just to see the band. And then you know what happens? Someone has that same damn idea and they move their head right in front of you.
Yep.
So now you get closer. Now your eardrums are blown out. They're bleeding because you know what? You want to hear music. Then you got too close, and now you're just gone, just totally shaved. It's like Lord Voldemort's nose, except your ears, just little holes. But if you have elevation, everyone can see you.
Yeah.
Unless you have all the tall fuckers up front, and now you can't see over them, and then it's the same problem. But now you got to chop them down with the drunk hatchet or
it's like
hammerschlag.
I did karaoke when I went to Hamburger Mary's with Matt Rossman.
Hamburger Mary's. Oh.
Which have you been there yet?
Yep.
Okay.
It's where they did the Drake shows.
Yeah.
Yep.
They
got a good stage.
They got a good stage. They got two stages actually, one in the front bar and one in the back bar. The back bar is just for karaoke. And the bartender, she talked me into doing a duet with her. I didn't want to do any singing, but she talked me into it. I don't know. She thought that.
Were you buzzed?
Well, yeah, I was drunk. I was pretty drunk, cat. And I think that people thought because me and Matt were there together that we were like a couple or something, or he was somebody that I was
just. Not to cut you off, but I would love to have you on stage with a mic and a stand. You firmly loafing on a bar stool with a beer next to it. The microphone's pointed directly towards you, but you don't do anything. You don't say anything, but you're purring because you're drunk. It's kind of like a uneven idle of a car engine. It just kind of goes up and down and up and down. And it's all that the bar would hear is this really firm loaf just purring. It gets softer, and then it gets louder, and then it gets softer, and then it gets louder, and then it gets softer, and then there we go.
So she talked me into this duet with her. We were gonna do "Man, I Feel Like a Woman."
Oh, that song.
Shania Twain.
Oh, okay.
Who I've met, by the way. She's pretty awesome. A little short. She comes up to like about here on me.
She goes nipples high.
Yeah, nipples high. She's like 5'5", 5'4". She's short. She's a shorty. So the song comes on, and all of a sudden the bar is just swamped. There's like 30 people in there, and she cannot get out from behind the bar. So she's mic in hand, working and singing with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm up on the fucking stage by myself, but she's kind of singing when she can. I mean, half the time she's like, "Hey, what do you want, man? I feel like okay. Your total is 324." You know, and I'm like up there, like, man, I feel like yeah.
You want a kitty cocktail? Oh yeah.
But the alcoholic.
That'd be $4.
But the alcoholic version. So yeah, it was. I was
He
like,
was doing Michael Jackson.
yeah. I was mortified because that's not the song I wanted to do. When I do karaoke, it is Fiona Apple, Criminal, or Nothing.
Aw.
Fiona Apple, Criminal. I can't remember how it starts.
Oh.
I've been a bad, bad cat.
There is actually one bar that is really cool, and it interests me quite well. There is a local brewery and bar in Milwaukee called Black Husky Brewing. And you know what? Dog friendly. 8 out of 10 dogs at this bar that people in, like, pretty much the owners and their dogs. More likely, all of them are going to be Huskies. Because, of course, you're going to the Black Husky bar. You may as well bring your Hoosk if you have a Hoosk. And you know what? I couldn't stop petting Hoosks. I was very happy petting Hoosks. And they were also being very happy being petted by me because they had a friend who was going to pet them. So we were mutually making friends by me giving the pets and them being petted and being derpy as fuck and just having a good time. Yeah, oh my god, just so many Hoosks in one spot. It's like, touch, and just touch them on the snoot and pet their triangles. Just, happy Hoosk face. What are you doing?
Charging my phone because it's almost dead.
Aw.
Yeah, I forgot to plug this in. There it is.
Let's see. What is?
Sorry.
Let's see what else is going on.
Give us something to talk about.
Yes.
Generic subjects, anything, life, liberty, the pursuit of kitty litter. Roommates.
Yeah. What's that?
Roommates.
What about roommates?
Just roommates in general.
I've never had a roommate besides you.
We have had, we've gone from dating to being friends.
Mm-hmm. And there's been a very good transition to that too.
Yeah, I feel like it has too.
Yeah, I just think things worked out for the better for both of us, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad. And I'm actually kind of glad that you also started dating too again. Because I think it's about
I'm
time.
not dating.
Well, not.
I'm
no,
not dating anybody.
Let me actually reiterate.
I put myself out there.
You're looking for dates, but you're not actually officially finding anyone that you actually like.
Jobless.
So
Homeless.
Why don't you explain the last 2
Oh
dates?
God, do I have to?
You may as well. That's interesting.
What was the first one?
The wavy hairdo.
Oh God, I'm sure he won't.
No, they won't watch any of this shit
I
because they're not even
guarantee.
furries.
He's a teacher. He's trying to become a principal, and I think that he actually teaches at the same school that your mom works at.
Nathan Hale.
Yeah, I think he does because he
That'd
was
be
local.
wild.
The bar that he picked is one that he frequents,
Oh,
and it's literally 5 minutes from my work.
it's on Greenfield.
Yeah,
So it's got to be in New Berlin.
right past Sunny Slope, other direction. We go this way for Walmart.
Oh, is it O'Canahan's or whatever?
Yeah,
it's
it's like
called?
you go downstairs. It's downstairs. It's underneath
Oh.
the.
Well, anyway, why don't you explain how the date went?
It went okay, honestly. But there were just a few aspects of the person that I just
Do not care for.
politically.
Was he very political?
Yeah, and just it didn't really match up with my.
Beliefs.
Let's say beliefs.
What was the one thing that actually bothered you the most?
I don't know. I guess gay Republican, to put it out there.
I was actually thought that you were going to go with his hair.
No, well,
Because his
gay
hair,
Republican
because he
bothered
was
me.
balding and he had his hair grown from the side kind of, and then went like lapped over one way and then lapped over again.
Oh, his hair was probably very, very
Like
long.
one like long on
if
only
this is
one
his
end,
head,
and he just
this is how
sandwiched
long his hair probably was, like every single strand, and literally just looped back and forth. And it's probably this high above his head.
Oh my God, he had a skyscraper.
Yeah, a skyscraper, and it literally ice cream coned back and forth. And I was impressed.
You were impressed, but you also were like, no. This is no.
No, I'm sorry. No. If you're bald, if you literally cannot grow hair in this,
Just do a George
portion
Costanza
of
and
your
just
head,
cut your hair normally and just have the baldness just appear.
Costanza.
Oh my God, yeah. Believe it or not, George
isn't at
home.
home.
Please
leave a message at the beep. I would be out.
Or I'd pick up the phone. Where could I be? Believe it or not, I'm not home. Beep.
Yeah, I am a firm believer, and this is me talking as a cosmetologist. Own your baldness, because
Become Mr. Clean.
Become Mr. Clean. There's nothing sexier to me than a confident bald man. It's sexy.
Alpha likes that episode. Yes, we got another Seinfeld fan. That's
Yes.
fantastic. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? More points. You get a cookie. It's too bad I don't have a cookie. I should not have promised cookie. I'm sorry.
Nope. So yeah, I just say own your baldness. If you're bald, if you're losing your hair, the best thing to do is shave it all now and see how you're going to look.
Go on full turtle.
When you lose that hair. I've shaved my head bald. I got a lot of compliments for the shape of my head.
Was this before we were dating?
Well before.
Okay. Because you literally trimmed it enough to where it was like literally just like squirrel butt.
Yeah, I did that one time.
And I didn't know what to think of it. It's like,
you were like, what happened?
I was like, this is your hair, so you do what you want. But it's like, I want to touch it. But I also think it's like, nearly bald.
Yeah.
Bruce.
Yeah, I shaved it down pretty low one time. But no, we down to the skin. There was no fuzz even.
Yeah, I've never done that.
I think I have pictures of it. I've shown you.
If I have,
I'll find it. I think I even shared it on Twitter.
So that was your first date. What happened to your second date? And go in full detail. What is going on with the second one? Because that was a train wreck. I'm not even going to interject. I'm just going to let you just...
Chicago. Same neighborhood as where my friend Tim Johnson used to live. It's a really nice neighborhood.
It's in South Chicago.
No, north side.
Okay, so they don't have the crazy, stupid high street curbs, which are just stupid.
They're pretty normal there.
Normal Chicago street curbs.
So the first thing, he met me outside his apartment building, which I thought was a little odd. Thought, God. But then he said, you can come in, but I just got to warn you, my apartment's a mess. Fair enough. I was given warning. I did say that I know people that have messy apartments. So
and it's a normal thing. I mean,
I'm
there are
not-
times when you get busy, you don't have times to clean. So.
Right. It's not a huge turnoff because I'm thinking in my mind, how bad could it possibly be? It was bad. There was not a surface to set something down on.
Or to sit.
Or to sit.
Or to really walk through.
And when I finally was given a surface to sit down on after the chair that I sat in that he found in a dumpster.
You didn't tell me about that.
Yeah, I remember that.
This is new shit going on.
Some of the furniture in his apartment was salvaged out of someone else's garbage.
I give him props for recycling.
Fine,
and reusing.
Exactly.
But he went out of someone's dumpster to get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
The second surface I was given to sit on was a bed.
Okay.
The bed didn't have a blanket over it. It was just the exposed sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Food crumbs all over it. Like it was coated. Like every time I would.
Was it remotely clean?
Like feel the surface of this.
I know it's pretty rough.
There's crumbs all over it from my food.
So you can feel the friction and the rolling of the crumbs.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a disgusting feeling to me.
Was his bed bed sheets clean and at least somewhat organized?
No, there were sweat stains all over it.
Oh.
There were sweat stains all over it.
No.
And
and that's what you sat on.
That's what I sat on.
Your poor ass.
Not for very long. I finally got up. I couldn't. And he had a bag of Doritos that was kind of tucked back in next to the wall, between the wall and the mattress, that he kept eating out of.
It's like a George Costanza.
Didn't offer me any, just kept eating out of the bag.
Oh, tell me about the size of his apartment.
Smaller than this. No, slightly larger than this room. Add a bathroom to it. Add a bathroom.
Maybe half of my room and then this room.
Yes, pretty small.
Or would you say it's all of my room? Or all of my room and a sliver of this room?
All of your room and maybe half of this room.
When you really think about it, it is very small.
The kitchen was probably from this part onto that wall. That was the kitchen, and put like a half a partition halfway through, where there's a sink on this side and a fridge on this side, and just barely standing room only. Just enough room for this much room for a person to squeeze in and come back out.
Did he have dishes stacked?
I didn't even really look.
It was not even worth looking.
No.
All right.
I mean, the best part about that apartment was the bathroom. It was a full-size bathroom.
Was it clean?
Yes.
Oh. Normally, actually, the bathrooms are okay.
So
with furries,
it's the one thing that he had clean was the bathroom.
With furries, it's one of two things or one of three things. And if you're really clean overall, good. You either are incredibly messy for the rest of the house, but you actually no, there's four. Okay. You're either fully clean everywhere or you're a pigsty everywhere. You either are a furry who is very clean with the rest of their house, but their bathroom is a mess, which is actually the most common one I've seen.
Yep.
Then there's the one where their bathroom is clean, but the rest of the house is a mess. Most cases, for some reason, furries do not clean their bathrooms at all. I'm not picky, but when I see the stuff that I see, a gas station bathroom would be cleaner to use. Yeah. But, so explain the night.
So I went to see a movie. It was an anime. What's the series? Demon Hunter? I want to say it's Demon Hunter or something to that effect. But the film, the full feature film just came out like maybe a month ago now. He paid for the ticket. He obviously paid for the Uber to get there. I paid for my own food.
So he paid. No, so he paid. Wait, no. Okay. So he paid for the ride there and back,
And the movie.
and the movie.
Yep.
But as far as, because I take it this is a movie theater where you can actually dine in and whatnot.
No, this is a regular theater. Just a basic regular theater.
Oh, so it's snacks. So just literally stuff.
Snacks, nachos, popcorn, candy.
It's not so much that he's eating his own stuff. It's just he never bothered to ask you if you wanted to have anything or something.
Well, it's just I went up there because I wanted some nachos. I haven't had nachos in forever.
Okay.
And he was done getting his food, so I ordered something for me.
Fair enough.
We're in the theater eating, and he doesn't offer his, so I don't offer mine.
I mean, really,
I also bought. I also bought sweet tarts, the long, soft, chewy sweet tart, like candies that like Twizzlers version of the sweet tart version of Twizzlers. What were you gonna say? We seldom what?
When we were dating, we rarely ever shared food. I mean, we may have bought like rounds of like us, like me or you buying, whatever dinner we would have at a restaurant, but we never did actually, unless it was like sushi or something else. But we never really actually actively shared for the most part. It was kind of a rare thing.
I don't know. Think about
it. The halibut. Actually, no.
Well, obviously, each order our own dishes.
Right, and if we wanted to test something, we would give each a morsel.
Right.
Or if it was sushi, it would be the transferring of the sushi to one plate to another.
Which then,
oh yeah, actually, it's more fun.
I mean, I still share pizza with you on a weekly basis, for God's sakes.
I mean, that was actually one other thing that we tend to do quite a lot. It's just going out to eat.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. Is that we rarely ever actually shared.
I never really thought about it.
Eating at home, we often enough shared what we made.
Well,
that's actually one thing. I'm not discrediting that.
Right.
But I'm saying is if we ever went out to eat somewhere, we just only tend to order whatever we want and we just eat that.
But either I would pay for the whole meal or you would pay for the whole meal. We never split the bill down the middle.
Right.
This is my point.
Right.
He could have offered to pay for my food.
Right.
That's my point. And obviously, if I paid for it myself, I'm not going to share it with somebody at that point now.
Oh, yeah. That's kind of general rule, too. But
I don't know if he was planning on sharing his popcorn with me, but he never offered.
Maybe he was hoping to get a hard-on, pop the bottom of the bag with a penis, and then have a greasy, buttered, salted penis.
My hand never went in that bucket. Sorry.
And then realize, I have.
Oh no!
I have heart disease. I can't take in all the salt, and then just simply walk away.
I have zits all over my dick. Oh, get the Noxzema.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
That's a
and then
possibility.
he started to look for, after the movie was over, we looked for a place to eat. We looked in one place, was closed. So he called an Uber and we went home.
Okay. You know me.
Yeah.
When we go looking for somewhere, we often enough look at 2 other places before we settle up for something
We don't
else.
just give up and just not eat.
Right. Because you know
That's what happened.
you know how Hoosk is when he gets
Yes.
hungry.
Oh, you get hangry.
I get
know.
hangry like an actual Hoosk because you know what?
Yeah.
Hoosk just gets hangry.
Yeah.
There's just no explanation. There's just no other reason. It just happens. And but I'm more determined to say, hey, if restaurant A doesn't work, we'll go with restaurant B.
Right.
However, if restaurant B doesn't deliver or is also closed, we'll go with maybe restaurant C. And then we will look at restaurant D because, of course,
at that point, we'll just go home and make pizza.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there.
Or I might overturn that and say, but burrito. And then we go up and then end up ordering.
So we go back to his apartment. Still a mess. Obviously, didn't make any effort to clean it up. This is my issue, too. I will say this.
That's right.
We planned this date about a week.
In advance.
Maybe not a week. Maybe 5 days. This man doesn't work. He does not work.
Wasn't he on some kind of disability?
Yeah, he's on disability. So he's collecting checks from the government to pay for his rent.
Isn't this a slightly older individual?
Yeah, he's 53, 54, maybe 55.
So it could have been a work-related accident.
Yeah. He worked for a interior designer.
Okay.
He was a desk job.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. I don't know what to think about that now. I was expecting like, okay,
manual labor or something in a factory somewhere. No.
Something fucked up bad where, you know, he just couldn't physically work 100%.
It just seems to me like he's just lazy and does not want to work.
Which explains why his apartment's a mess, because he doesn't have any motivation to.
Yeah. So 5 days, he knows I'm coming.
And probably did nothing.
And did nothing, just fapped her.
Or, you know what?
Ate Doritos in bed.
It's possible is that it could have been much more worse. Cleaned some things, lost motivation along the way, and just said, you know what, fuck it.
Or maybe thought that maybe I'm not going to end up showing. I'll be a no-show. But at that point, still.
That means that his standards were low.
Then you've cleaned your fucking apartment.
He was... I bet that's what was going on.
He was probably thinking I wasn't going to show.
And I think he shit himself when he realized, oh, hey...
he's actually here.
Hey, I just parked around the corner. And then a dump amassed in his shorts.
Yep.
And like, oh, fuck, this guy actually did show up.
Yep. That's why he met me outside of his apartment.
Was he awkward the whole time?
Yeah, very.
Oh, dude, he took a deuce. He took a little deuce scoop in his pants. And we're back to Beach Boys. Things gotta go back.
We're back to Beach Boys and shit. Just like every other podcast we've ever done.
But this is my fault, though. I mentioned little deuce scoop in your pants.
Those are my first 2 dates.
Since we broke up.
One other person that showed up, we hung out for a while, but that was nothing.
I totally agree, Alpha. At least putting in some effort into at least making it presentable. Even if some things might be a little bit messy in some spots, as long as you're not walking through stuff or sitting on stuff. I'm not going to make names.
No.
But I had a friend that I really cared for a lot. Went to college with. Meant dear to me. And their car was, for better lack of more proper terms, a total shit pigsty. Including a 25, 30-gallon fish tank in the back seat for no reason. And that's on top of an entire dresser's worth of clothing that they would literally sort of remove articles of clothing, throw in the back seat, and then never bother to know its existence. Just kinda
Forget
left-
about it.
Yeah.
Forget about it. Just forget it back
And
there.
their vehicle, besides the driver's seat, was totally filled to the brim with stuff. I'm not saying it's all junk because a lot of it was actually still useful. I'm talking about clothing. I'm talking about a few other things that is still salvageable.
Empty food wrappers.
A lot of it was just trash. And I belonged to an anime club at this college. I think they even made me VP for a semester, which I ended up actually taking out kind of my hammer and actually started like conducting actual business within the club because it was totally disorganized because of
Right.
course they didn't care. Somehow I did, and I'm not even that into anime that much, but so there was supposed to be a club outing, which was really just among friends. It was supposed to be a just friends day hangout. However, a few of our friends within this group owned cars. I was one, so was this person. And then one other person, however, it was not their car, it was their mom's car. Besides taking it to school, they can't really use it for anything else.
Right.
So really the only two people that could have probably carpooled other people around to this gathering would have been me or my friend. However, I don't know where the hell I went that weekend, but I couldn't go. I just couldn't go. It didn't work out, so I was out of the picture. That left this one, my friend, with this car full of trash. And there was no way around it. She had to use her car. But I wanted to be helpful. I liked my friend. I wanted to do everything I can to help them out. So I said, hey, come over to my place. I'll help clean your car for you. We'll have fun. That way you can pick up 3-4 other people, go to this party, have fun, and you don't have to worry about weird looks. You know what? I made a 96 Toyota Corolla look brand new. Well, as best as I can.
For like three weeks.
For 3 weeks. I practically cleaned the entire interior cabin of that car. Not close to dealership clean, because I'm a clean freak when it comes to cars, but
Acceptable. At least she could seat other people in her car.
exactly. Literally threw out a ton of crap. I found Tostino's pizza rolls in a container that had not only molded away, turned into liquid black botulism. And when I immediately opened the container, and then, just started gagging. And then I immediately tossed with the contents into the garbage, and I tossed the container into the sink. Because you know what? Container could be compromised, but hey, you can still use the container. Just wash the hell out of it, which I ended up doing
I would
anyway.
have thrown that shit right out, the whole thing.
I mean, at least I'm pragmatic. I think about, hey, can you reuse this so you can keep using it?
Not worth it.
So I helped clean their car. And then, you know what? Afterwards, we decided, hey, let's actually go for a midnight ride. So we pretty much drove for like 3 hours that night into Beaver Dam, which is about an hour and a half away, and then realized, holy fuck, we drove this far. So let's drive the hell back home and, had fun. And you know what? She was so proud of her clean car. She kept it clean for the next 3 weeks, which was impressive. I was really happy for her because I thought, hey, maybe she just needed some motivation to help just keep her car clean.
It definitely is motivation. It's a motivation thing.
Right. Then one day, me and another friend, we decided to hang out and do some midnight cruising. So we drove around the county, drove around the region in southeast Wisconsin for like 3-4 hours, having a good time with the windows down because, of course, the AC don't work in July. But you know what? We're having fun. Then we decided to say, hey, we're actually kind of hungry. Let's get some Taco Bell. Let us get some quesadillas and put it in our mouths. So we ended up going to the drive-thru. I'm in the back seat, and we go in. I get my quesaritos because you know what? That was the only thing good from Taco Bell that I actually enjoyed.
And now they don't have it.
And they killed it. And now Taco Bell is dead to me. So I got 2 quesaritos and whatnot. And I get my quesaritos. They get their tacos. Our friend gets something else. And she has her taco. She did this with the wrapper. Crumpled it into a ball. Tossed it in the back seat. At that very moment, I then realized it begun. Oh no, it's begun again. But I didn't think, hey, you know what? Still a clean car. It's only one bit of litter. How bad could it get? Tomorrow, maybe she might pick it up. And the car will still stay clean for the time being. Nope. It just went back to shit after 2 weeks.
Only 2 weeks.
It didn't take long. And then by 2 months, it was as nasty as it was before when you saw it.
Mm-hmm.
And when she told me, hey, can you, because we were doing a geek ball, she wanted me to move her car. You ended up, came out the door with me to go along with me. And or even her driver's seat, or driver footwell, full of crap. Yeah, of course you want to fiddle with your feet and brake and gas pedals with other garbage that could possibly
prevent you from driving properly.
Where the trash could potentially lodge the accelerator in the down position to accelerate your Yota into a dumpster. And then you sat in the passenger seat, which was also full of crap.
Like no place for feet. It was just stepping on garbage.
Yeah. And yeah. See, I'm a helpful Hoosk. I love my friends. I will do anything what I can for them. You want me to help clean an embarrassingly dirty car? You know what? I'll have fun doing it with you. I'll help wherever I can. However, seeing that one bit of litter get thrown in the back seat, I immediately knew where it was going to go, and I hoped it wouldn't be that, and it turned out exactly to be that.
Yep. So this guy...
Which could you all deal with to an extent? A dirty apartment or a dirty vehicle? I've met a lot of furries in my time. A lot of furries tend to have dirty apartments, which, you know what, I always expect anyway. So to be honest, if I walk into a dirty apartment, that's to be expected. If you clean, if you have a clean ship, then that surprises me.
My question is, how dirty is it? Because my immediate reaction would be neither.
I'm not a dirty person. I mean, things
if there's
clutter.
No surface to put food down on.
Yeah.
If you
can't
you're
easily
losing
walk
possessions, like he was trying to show me some device that he had that can connect to his PC, and you could play games on it, but he couldn't find it because see how this tray here right now? Imagine everything is pushed literally together, and
to
there's
make more space.
And there's no surface left to put something down on.
Yeah,
and he's picking through. It's here somewhere, but every surface in the whole place, every surface everywhere, has got stuff strewn about. Even the floor, he's got basically. There's a pathway from my door there to here. There's a path, and everything else is just covered.
Actually, this is something I'm going to give.
It was almost like an organized mess, really.
I'm going to give this some actual thought about that actual question. And you know what? I'm going to go with it with the fursuit approach. Which, for me, I'm normally the one that is the host of a hotel room, and I have people come room with me.
Sure.
I am a fursuiter. And while I don't expect all my roommates to be as neat and organized as I am, but my rule is if you have shit laying on the ground, and when I'm blind in suit and I still can't see, like, fuzziness and whatnot, I'm fuzzy, but also my vision is fuzzy too. And if I'm in suit and I'm stepping on shit that is yours that could probably break, if I'm stepping on it, you know what? I'm going to kick it out of my way because you know what? It shouldn't be there anyway.
Yep.
It's the first suit approach of that shouldn't be there. If I have to step on it to get out of suit, I will because you know what? It just should not belong there. In someone's apartment, in someone's car, I'm going to try to be respectful. But if I'm crushing things and things kind of crawl into my socks and I don't know what it is, and I get agitated enough, I start just shoving things around because you know what? Eventually, I get fed up with it.
Mm-hmm.
If it pisses me off enough, I just get fed up.
Like you get angry at yourself when your room is a mess.
When I don't get a chance to self-maintain like I have this past month, because month of May has been crazy for me because I got things like I drive a bus for 10, 12 hours a day. This is my first time where I've actually worked a 10-hour day, legit 10-hour day. And still, I feel tired as hell. And getting the energy after just an ordinary day is just impossible. Then when you have stuff to do on the weekends when I'm free, there's not enough time because sometimes other things just kind of become more pressing. And it pisses me off that, my room is a cluttered mess of newspapers from packages and whatnot, or, documents from work and this and that. And I don't get time to do it because I'm either too damn tired to really touch it or just annoyed and too damn tired to touch it. But I give a conscious effort that I know that it's annoying me and I want to do something about it.
Yep.
That's the difference. If it annoys you that you want to do something about it, at least that's one step above from you're living in a mess, you're living in a pigsty, but you won't do anything about it and you just don't care.
Yeah.
There's a huge difference between I am annoyed with the situation I am in, I need to do something, I need to clean.
Right.
Then there is, I don't give a fuck anymore. My bra is going in the back seat and it's going to stay there for months until my friend finds 5 of them stuck to a floor mat where you say, that's where it went because, that's where 5 bras went.
Or
Which you have to wonder, changing bras in a car in school parking lot is legally very, very dicey.
And there's the third scenario. Bob the drag queen as Carol Channing. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready.
That too.
If you always clean, you don't have to worry about cleaning when you have company over that's unexpected.
If you can self-maintain all the time, then it's not really an issue.
That's why I keep this room and my room not spotless, but presentable.
Right.
If anytime you have Wolf show up unexpected, you have no problems, no worries.
Oh, yeah.
You know this room is going to be clean and ready to entertain or accommodate whatever you guys have going on. Even if it's just coming in to sit down and talk or watch a movie, we're ready for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's just typically good house manners is... I thought it was a tick.
No, I didn't know what it was.
These are my pair of thieves. They're very soft and comfortable. But as far as like clean, there's always going to be a certain level of clean to you that you feel is going to be good.
Yep.
And to others, it's not. And you know what? It's just what it is. If you're able to make something clean and make it work and makes you happy, you know that it is going to be clean for your standards. It will never be perfect for someone else.
Yep.
Let's just be frank with that. Now, I can be a very organized person. It's not so much the motivation. It's just, can I muster enough energy to even start where I need to go? Because often enough, I put all of my effort into my job and every job that I've ever had. And sometimes you're just too exhausted.
For me, it's like just taking that extra minute or two to clean up after yourself.
Which helps.
Yeah, I got all this food out right now. I've got pretzels and
peanut butter.
Cashew butter. Thank you very much. Not peanut butter. And beer and sriracha mayo. Sriracha mayo.
Sponsored by Sriracha Mayo.
Oh, the glare. The glare.
Do not shove this up your ass.
Sriracha mayo. Yeah, but I clean up after myself. When I'm done, when we're done casting, this will all be gone.
This setup, yeah, will get put away.
So, yeah, stay ready. That's all I got to say about that. I've been a bad, bad puss. I've been careless with a delicate man.
Yeah, it's just, if you know you have friends over, make at least the effort to tidy up. I don't know if it might show depending on what you end up doing, but if you actually put in the effort to say, hey, I got friends coming over in 5 days, that gives you 5 days of planning to what you think is most important to do. If you don't think cleaning is that important, all right, well, then it's going to show that it was not a priority. But if you at least tidy up the rooms that they're going to be in mostly, then it's not so bad. Because if you can at least keep those rooms or at least maintain it, clean it, whatnot, then it's not going to be an issue.
Yep. And I don't think I'm perfect by any means, but I try to.
No one's perfect.
I try
No
to
one's
at
ever
least.
perfect.
I just try to be at least accommodating to whoever may show up.
It's nice to have the unexpected too.
Yeah. I just want to be able to say, I don't want to be embarrassed about where I'm living. I have control over
Your spaces.
Right, my space, my living space.
Yeah.
And I want to be able to just, have a friend over or whatever and not have to be embarrassed about the way I live. It says a lot about a person.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm sorry about that guy in Chicago. Didn't work out, but that's on him.
A filth to the level of you can't walk anywhere without stepping on something, or you can't sit anywhere without sitting on something.
Even crumbs.
Is a special type of mess that is almost to a degree disrespectful.
At some point while I was sitting on his bed, I was literally doing this.
You were brushing. I will not even done that.
I was brushing crumbs just to sit comfortably. Wouldn't you think he would do that for me before I sit down there?
No, I don't. Actually, it's an interesting theory that we think that.
Yeah, I guess I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt too much.
I think he may have seriously thought that you weren't going to show up for one reason or another, and then it turned out, calling his own bluff?
Yeah.
That you weren't going to show up, and you ended up showing up anyway.
Yep.
Which
so at that point, he was probably like, "Oh no."
Did you actually tell him, "Oh hey, I'm coming"?
The day of, I was like, I texted him and said, "Hey, are we still doing this?"
Oh, because he never mentioned.
Before I even left, I said, "Hey, are we still doing this?" Yeah, of course. Okay, I'm leaving. I'll be there in
less than 2 hours.
Less than 2 hours.
That's still
even 2 hours is enough to brush crumbs off a bed, clear up some stuff so somebody can sit down. I mean, what the heck, man? What is going on in your life that you can't clean off a city surface?
You work 5 days a week.
Yes.
You work either anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a day.
Yes.
I work 4 days a week.
Yes.
At 10, 12 hours a day. We both technically lead or live busy lives.
Yes.
Where we're expending our own energy throughout the day to do what we need to do. And when we get home, we only have what's left in the tank to continue on until we need to sleep. This man, I'm just saying.
When I get home, the first thing I do is put dishes away, and clean up my area and usually cook,
What I am
which
about to
takes another
say,
4 or 5 hours. This man
this man, as I was about to say,
has the whole day.
does nothing for a living.
Yeah.
He's collecting. I'm not saying if you have a disability, physical, what have you, it is what it is.
Right.
But you could say you go to doctor's appointments. You can say you order a bus ride share program to get you to point A to point B. Yeah, that might take time in a day, but for the most part, if you're not really going to work, you don't have 8 hours of your day each day taken up by that. You have the time to actually tidy things up. You have the additional energy to carry you through to get that done.
Yes, you sure did.
That's my point trying to make is
He had all the time in the world.
like me, I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
And me being up and still being somewhat focused is actually an achievement to me right now.
Yeah.
And often enough, I feel like going to bed and then staying in bed for 14 hours thinking I'm going to take a short nap. That short nap turned out to be 14 hours. That just happens for me because you know what?
Your body needed it. Your body needed it. Your body said you need to sleep.
I need to swirl.
Yeah.
But when you don't have anyone coming over, you're not living with anyone.
Well, no, he wasn't living with anyone. He's not sharing that apartment with anybody.
If you got all the time in the world, you can definitely even take 2 hours of your time just to clean a spot.
Yep.
And do it every day. And I would probably say within about a week or so, you should have that apartment not just clean, but sparkling.
Yeah. We talked about this date for about 2 weeks. And we solidified it like 5 days before it happened. I think 1 or 2 days beforehand, I just kind of checked to make sure we're still on. Okay, great. Looking forward to it. I think the night before we talked about it. The day of, I texted him about 2 or 3 hours before I was actually there, just to confirm. So he had all that time from 2 or 3 weeks down to 2 or 3 hours. And he made
probably very little to no effort.
0 effort.
We don't technically know that, but we know that he made very little effort to no effort in getting anything cleaned up.
Yeah. Probably because he's so used to being, what's the word I'm looking for? When people don't show.
He was expecting a rain check.
He was expecting a rain check, or he was expecting me to
bounce
on him, yeah. Or ghost him, as the kids like to say these days. You're ghosting me in the texts, in the DMs.
It's just, you even had 2 weeks.
Yeah.
When you were talking about this, you said 1 week. I didn't realize you were planning this for 2 full weeks.
Oh, yeah.
That's enough time. That's more than enough time to get things ready.
He could have had a moving van show up and take garbage out of there.
It was that bad?
I don't know. It was pretty bad.
I mean,
add more surface. Add twice as many surfaces for stuff to set down on than what you have here. Take this shelving unit out and put a whole big long desk in there.
All right.
A big long desk. And then if your bed's back there, there's a panel in between the bed, kind of partitioning the bed off from the rest of the apartment. That's essentially a shelf or a surface. He puts a laptop on one end of that. The rest of it's all lined with cans and candy wrappers and books and stuff. He had a lot of books. In fact, that same wall that kind of partitioned off, I should say half wall because you could see right over it. In that wall, shelves for books. He had a bunch of books in there. Fine. That's fine. I accept that. They're books. I'm not saying this is a mess. But if you're putting candy wrappers and Coke cans, and
If
I
you
can't
find
even-
any given space to put something on that probably could have been thrown out immediately,
Yeah.
just put it there.
And not to judge, because everybody lives their life the way they do. He explained to me that he was never allowed to watch TV for like the first 15 to 18 years of his life. His nan, his grandma, who raised him because his parents didn't, basically cut him off from not reality, but from the rest of the world, essentially. Very much like how my sister raised her kids for a good portion of their lives.
I mean,
And I'm
in
not judging.
some cases, it's probably not a bad idea because I'm going to be honest.
But he also
There is a lot of garbage on TV.
There is, but he
So there's that.
didn't experience anime, so he's literally reliving his youth in his adult male 50s.
He's actually what would be reliving his adult youth by actually doing it later in life.
Right.
And
Like he's huge into anime now, and I'm not bashing anime. I love anime.
Anime's pretty cool.
There's
I
nothing
like
wrong
anime.
with liking anime as an adult man, even if you dress up as Sailor Moon.
Sailor Bubba.
Sailor Bubba.
But you know what? I want to meet Sailor Bubba.
Yeah. Sailor Bubba.
Sailor Bubba will save this planet one day.
Yep.
We were talking about, oh my God, the memory's starting to go.
Dirty Apartments.
Dirty Apartments. No,
Sailor Bubba.
Oh no, so cutting off on TV.
Right.
Now, in some cases, I feel like that is an extreme, but in others, considering, although really, okay, back then, there wasn't really so much reality TV. That was kind of the 90s. No,
Yeah.
I would say about the late 80s was when the initial TV reality shows were starting to come out.
The first noteworthy reality TV show is MTV's Real World.
Right.
My parents watched that show. They loved the Real World.
Which again, TV reality.
Yeah.
And Real World is an oxymoron, or however you would call it.
Yeah,
it's just
an oxymoron.
Your sister bringing up her kids the way that she did.
Yeah.
The last 20 years of TV reality is pretty garbage. Even compared to the last 40 years of TV, the last 20 years is especially garbage. There is nothing of good value as far as TV reality is concerned.
But my sister blocked her kids from not really like trash TV.
Just all TV.
No, because they let them watch some stuff. They just wouldn't let their kids watch the news. And here's why.
Oh, that's strange.
They wanted their kids to develop their own opinions about how politics and news and all that should be.
I could respect
Every
that.
one of her kids has a different opinion and a different political stance.
You know what? Actually, I can fully respect that.
They are their own individuals.
Yeah, I can fully respect.
Right.
That.
Every one of them, they come from different standpoints. They all sit together at dinner and discuss as
Even better
as civil individuals, and they, much like me and my Republican friend Ken used to do, would meet in a common ground. This is how things used to work.
Before 2016, you could talk with practically anyone about a subject, and as long as you don't become cursatory, pretty much if you're not lunging at people's throats about their opinions.
But I don't want to turn this.
You say your opinion, they say their opinion. You discuss. Okay, well, let's actually discuss that kind of stuff too. Let's actually see, not just see, but how that would work in the modern world and whatnot. Just take and give. Nowadays, that does not exist so much because we've gotten into our own ways. But that's just something else. That's just a byproduct
politics.
of recent times.
But again, it's nice to be able to have that. So, I commend my sister for raising her kids the way they did because I feel like they're all well-rounded individuals. My point.
is a lot better than a lot of people today.
So this guy that I dated, I feel like he's still finding his balance because he's almost vicariously reliving his childhood in his adult life.
he is learning a lot later than when he should have.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you are supposed to learn along the way, especially when you're growing up. You can make the choice in your earlier days to know what you're going to be about, who you will eventually become to be. Because once you become that person, you will change in the slightest throughout time. Because you know what? People aren't always a constant.
Yep.
But your overall basic principles will be the same throughout life.
Yep.
But if you don't ever get a chance to understand what those principles could be, that literally paralyzes your evolution. And that is a quote from that is a lyrical quote from Analyze from the Cranberries.
Yep.
And that's when you don't analyze things. Hence the lyrics.
Yep.
Because I just don't have Democrat friends. I've got, Republican friends too.
Yeah.
And you know what? Actually, it's kind of nice to actually listen from them from a change, to learn something that I may not see a perspective of that I would not mind learning from. Even if I may not fully agree with it, I would at least benefit from, this is where they're coming from. This is what they see. At least you can understand what they're saying and what they
and vice versa, and vice versa too.
Right. It goes both ways.
Don't be an extremist and try to sit there and convince me, because that's where it becomes a one-sided conversation. Be able to listen, understand where I'm coming from. I will do the same for you. That's it. That's how a conversation works.
And that's really just
sitting there on a stage and calling each other names.
Politicians used to be of a much higher caliber.
I mean, literally, I look at Joe and Don. They literally sat there and called each other names in front of the nation.
Yeah.
2 adult men calling each other names. It's just an embarrassment. I mean, it's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. People like this should not.
Of our time.
People like that should not be allowed to hold office.
It just doesn't seem like they've fully, not to say matured, but definitely grew up.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
we're still children, man-childs.
Like, you still got a score to settle, when really the whole point is you got to run a country and you want to be taken seriously. Even if someone slugs blows at you.
Yeah.
You need to shake it off.
Shrug it off.
Keep running like a fucking locomotive. And you know what? Once they realize, those sticks and stones may break my bones, but words never hurt me. You know what? That needs to still be kept true, because you know what? If people can see you being the juggernaut, that all the stuff that people throw at you and you just keep going and you keep going and going and going, people are going to take you a lot more seriously, because you know what? They're going to say, hey, this man was called a poopy head, but he's going to talk about infrastructure and talk about bridges.
Real things.
Talk about politics. Talk about really crazy issues. Talking about no.
It's the Barry Gibb Talk Show.
We talk about chest hair in this crazy time. Yeah, see, we're singing anyway.
Yep.
Wait, did you see that SNL skit?
Yeah. Oh God.
God, it's good.
The Barry Gibb Talk Shows. I reference it every day because they play the real song. That song is parodied.
Oh yeah.
And when it plays, I'm just like, the Barry Gibb Talk Show. Talk about crazy. Yeah, I just sing the Barry Gibb Talk Show.
I want to talk to you, and even if you don't want me to, I still want to talk to you.
I think we should end this because it's almost 9:00.
Oh fuck!
I know you want to sleep, but I want a game.
I just had to just prop my eyes open somehow.
Toothpicks like Tom.
Or Mr. Bean.
Oh, Mr. Bean just.
Actually, it would just be more like. Now that's a thumbnail right there. You know what? Wait. I am blind. Just. Dude, that's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Bean does it. That was when he was in church and he was trying to stay awake.
Oh,
He actually fell asleep and he was just like.
Yeah, look. Yeah. No, he actually scared the person next to him. He was like, hey,
and then he tries to sneak a piece of candy.
yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Bean's amazing.
Oh.
We need more Bean.
You know what?
Bean. What?
Mr. Bean for president.
Mr. Bean for president for sure.
Along with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yep.
And let's throw Sylvester Stallone, because you know what? I mean, the bar to get into the presidency has been dropped low enough to where, you know what? Arnold Schwarzenegger is not an American. Well, he is an American citizen, but you need to be a U.S.-born citizen to become president. You know what? We can make one exception. Let's make the governor the presidentator.
Yeah. Not
to be confused with the pregnator. Yeah, it's just these really horny dudes just getting in line. They already got their pants down and they're just like, oh, come on, man. Hey, can I skip in line? I got $20. I can pay you $20 if I can skip. Oh, damn it, fuck. But you know what? That one time when I'm gonna mention the Trumby. And I'm going to answer that one thing from Alpha in a bit, but if I now remember when the Trumby had mentioned that when he left The Apprentice to become the president, and noticed that the ratings for
his show,
The Apprentice, dropped or something like that. I don't follow. It's a silly show. I don't know why it's as popular as it is.
Who pays attention?
To say, yeah, fired. It's like, dude, you say that every week. You know what? Nothing new. But Arnold Schwarzenegger took over the show.
The most basic of formulas for a show, for God's
and
sakes.
You know, the Trumby was doing the criddle of the Schwartzen. That he's doing the show wrong because of his ratings and whatnot, and then the Schwartzen, in response to the Trumby, says that I could be president and you can come back to The Apprentice and we could do things a bit better. That video, that response was gold. Mm-hmm. At that point, I thought, you know what?
I'm good. Let's do that. Let's do this.
The Schwarzenegger would be a better president. And to be honest, yeah, very much. Now, Alpha says, if you're president, what would you like to change in this country? So, if we only had to change one thing in this country, and the Poos should also answer this as well.
I already have an answer.
If you're president, what would you like to change in this country?
I can tell you right now, all politicians, anybody related to the president and adjacent,
mm-hmm.
We're talking Congress, we're talking House of Representatives, I'm talking senators,
mm-hmm.
Government officials, governors, is it governor? Is it state governors? Is it the one guy? Who's the guy you fired in the office all the time?
Yeah, that'd be Scott Walker.
He was what?
He was a governor.
He was a governor.
That's the tippy top.
All those people that I've named, even anybody just underneath them, salary is either cut in half or removed. I want money out of politics.
You know what I like to actually see?
And if I were to be president, Poos, I would forego my salary entirely. Any money that would be paid to me, I would want it to be immediately applied towards the debt of the nation. I would not.
Yeah.
I would want none of it. And I would be in power for 8 years. by
Aw.
default.
Aw, the pussy
8
people.
years of loafing,
Now,
just to put a dent in that little debt that we keep. Like,
I think
is it worse? It's worse, isn't it?
what?
Our country's debt.
It gets worse every second.
We keep printing money and then spending it. So
it just gets worse.
it's just like this, literally just grabbing money out of the air and just saying, "Here."
I mean, it is technically worthless money. It's not worth that much. So I'd have a choice. And one of them would have to get passed. I would either say, okay, everybody, you got a choice. In politics, career politicians, I'm talking to you. One person can be president for 2 terms for 4 years each, a maximum of 8 years only. And then after that, no more. You'll never be that position ever again. However, actually, there is no however, but every single position, I would say maybe mayor could be exempt because that's kind of low level and who knows, but everything from like senator to representative to governor, they all have 4-year terms if I remember correctly, but 2 terms only for all of them.
Yeah.
I think it's senators, 6 years, governors 4. You know what? Okay. You want to get voted in again? Okay. After that, no more. It's more like the wife saying after having 20 kids, you know what? No more. The balls are coming off. You have that option. Or everyone who's making millions upon millions of dollars that, okay, I'm not going to make millionaires and billionaires illegal. However, all the taxing, all that system that we put in play, as far as the rich keep getting richer and the poor just keep getting poorer and the middle class just kind of just ceases to exist.
Mm.
I want to make things right by funneling more money back into where it matters the most, into the people's hands, not into the economies, because the economy gets propped up by the people's pockets. If you spend money, you're putting it back into the economy. You just put it back into the economy. What specifically are you putting it back into? People are going to have to spend money anyway. So I'm going to make a tax system so much so that, yeah, you're a millionaire, billionaire, cool. Yeah, you get to keep a majority of your money at that time. Also, offshore bank accounts in the United States. If you were a U.S. citizen, illegal. Whatever money is out there, I'm going to tell that one country, hey, you can take his money. Yeah, we could take it, but you know what? Let's make him regret the fact that he ended up putting a bank account in your country. Why don't you take the money? Let's make him squirm for a bit. There's always going to be rich people in society. The problem is that they keep getting richer for no reason. They're not job creators. They're not doing much to actually help anyone. They're just there to get themselves rich. It's pointless to have so much more money that you can't buy. You can't buy everything on this planet. So, giving people the choice. Do you want to make enough change by eliminating, or not eliminating, but limiting politicians from being career politicians to be in power for 20, 30, 40 years in some cases? To say, hey, 2 terms, 2 terms, bucko. You only get 2. And once you're done, you get the fuck out of here. Or all your rich buddies that these career politicians are buddies with, they're no longer protected anymore, which also means themselves. They're not protected either. Because these career politicians are also friends with these rich people as well. It goes both ways. It can only go both ways because, hey, they say, hey, look, we'll keep the current tax system in check, but we'll reduce it to 2 term limits. This means there's enough new change that eventually it will also bring down the tax system to that kind of change in time when people start getting annoyed by it. Or you immediately take over the tax system, say, okay, there's no point in being a career politician at that point.
Yeah.
It works both ways. You just got to pick one of the other because it's going to do the same thing on the other end. So there we go. Blue or red pill, what is it going to be? While I'm going to swirl on a desk by so many other presidents that have sat at that desk, I'm going to sit directly on that desk like a swirl. And I'm going to bring out 2 pills, and everyone's going to look at me like a nutcase. But that's what I do. Because, hey, you're a millionaire? Cool. Yeah, you can be a millionaire. You live in this country, you pay taxes like the rest of us. And, hey, people are going to look at millionaires and say, hey, maybe they're job creators. They're paying proportionately good amount of taxes that makes it good for the rest of us. People are actually probably will look at them as heroes more than what they are right now. To me, every single millionaire and billionaire, I don't know, kind of up to my mood of what I think about them, because a lot of them are kind of shysters. Because if you're going to be hiding your money offshore because you don't want to get taxed in this country, you need a hot, pointy stick up your ass.
Yeah, it's kind of a criminal offense.
You really need, and I sincerely say this to a lot of career politicians and billionaires, you really need a hot, pointy stick.
Yep.
Metal stick. Iron. No. Steel. We're better than this. Iron is old school. We're going to go with steel. Up your ass. But the rest of us are going to say, oh yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah. This guy's been in power for 30 years, but has done shit during that time. And now he's getting his G-spot touched by a stick on fire.
Yep.
Well, yeah, at least we don't have to vote for him anymore.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's probably a good time.
I think so, too.
I'm still surprised I'm up.
You're going to crash.
Yeah.
And I got to pee.
Uh-oh, and hence Kurdan's bar is going to be all covered in. Oh, my God, that'd be the most funniest thing is that you just walked out of the office and you just drop pants. Let me be. And just go.
Yep, that'll be me.
And then just pull up your pants and then walk back in your office. There we go.
Yep.
So, I guess, actually for LiveCast, this was quite fun. I think this is something we're just going to keep doing from this point on.
Yeah, I think so.
Because you know what? I think this is a ton better. So. Plus 2, audience interaction, just fun. So, well, thanks for, I was going to say tuning out. Thanks for tuning in. Actually, I think a lot of people tuned out. That's okay, though, because I'm expecting that. Thank you for tuning in into this, into the Zooming Who's podcast. Thanks for listening, because otherwise it's just us talking to a fuzzy squirrel on a mic, and us just talking to each other.
Yeah.
Which actually we end up doing that anyway, and it's funny because we talk a lot about funny stuff. So thanks for tuning into the Zooming Who's podcast, and then once again, I am your host, Dustin Husky.
And I'm the cat your mom warned you about. Kurdan Sourpuss.
Mom, there's another cat in the sandbox. Oh no, he's taking a squat.
Leave him be, son. He'll just be. He'll go away in his own time.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.
Oh.
Wait, your streaming will immediately stop. You no longer be live. Oh, look at that end.